Sophia had lost her mother 2 years ago in a terrible car accident. Life was never the same. Every evening she sat alone in the small apartment they once shared, looking at old photographs and listening to the last voice message her mother had left behind. One rainy night, while reading a book, her phone suddenly rang. The screen showed only one word. Mom. Sophia's heart stopped. Her mother's number had been disconnected years ago. With trembling hands, she answered. There was only silence. Then, a familiar voice whispered. Sophia, don't go outside tomorrow. The call ended. Sophia stared at the phone for several minutes. She convinced herself someone was playing a cruel prank. The next morning she ignored the warning and left for work. As she crossed the street, a speeding truck suddenly lost control. It crashed exactly where she would have been standing if she hadn't paused to answer another phone call. She survived by only a few seconds. That night, the phone rang again. Mom. This time the voice said. Someone is watching you from across the street. Sophia rushed to the window. At first she saw nothing. Then, a tall man wearing a black coat slowly stepped behind a street light and disappeared into the darkness. Every night the calls continued. Each warning saved her life. One night she avoided a gas explosion. Another night she escaped a building fire. Another time she cancelled a taxi ride that later ended in a fatal accident. Sophia no longer questioned the calls. She believed her mother was protecting her. But on the seventh night, everything changed. The phone rang. Mom. Sophia smiled and answered. The voice was different. Colder. Slower. I've protected you long enough. A chill ran down her spine. Now, it's your turn to protect me. The lights inside the apartment went out. Her phone battery instantly dropped to zero. The room became freezing cold. From the hallway came the sound of slow footsteps. Sophia grabbed a flashlight and slowly opened her bedroom door. The hallway was empty. But at the end of it stood an old telephone. The same telephone that had been buried with her mother. It suddenly began ringing. Sophia slowly picked up the receiver. Instead of her mother's voice, she heard her own voice crying. Don't answer the phone tomorrow. The line went dead. The next morning Sophia threw her phone into a nearby river. She thought the nightmare was over. That evening, someone knocked on her apartment door. When she opened it, there was no one there. Only a brand new smartphone. It began ringing. The screen displayed one familiar name. Mom.